Everyone, welcome to my first live webinar. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Michael Cohan. I'm the founder of the Elevate Life Project. And in our first webinar, and we're going to be doing these twice a month, we are going to talk today about self-acceptance and how compassion frees you, heals you, and leads you to radical self-contentment. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the chat box on the side of the panel, and I'll bring them up if I can during the presentation. Or if we have time, I'll ask and answer any questions at the end of this seminar. Now, without further ado, let's get on with today's concept, self-acceptance. How compassion frees you, heals you, and leads you to radical contentment. When you think of having good emotional health, terms like happiness, self-esteem, self-confidence, optimism, and mental toughness likely come to mind. You might not consider the ideas of self-acceptance and contentment. But let's think about this. Isn't contentment what we're all really seeking? Contentment is a place where we don't need anything. We're completely satisfied as we are, as our life is. Think of how many things you do each day in an effort to feel more content. You say or do things to impress others. You say or do things to avoid feeling or being ridiculed by others. You work at a job you don't like so you can make more money to buy things you want to impress others with. You exercise and diet beyond what is reasonable in order to look a certain way. The list is really endless. We spend a lot of our day trying to feel more content. However, these things aren't the path to radical contentment. The real secret is self-acceptance. So what is self-acceptance? There are many ways to look at self-acceptance. Some of them are more constructive than others. It would be a mistake to think of self-acceptance to be a blanket acceptance of your weaknesses, bad habits, and negative tendencies, in the absence of any responsibility to continue to improve. Self-acceptance isn't an excuse for laziness or complacency. You can be content and still advance with and advocate for self-improvement. It also doesn't mean that you accept your fate and determine that nothing can or should be done to change your life. Self-acceptance is a reckoning with yourself. It's an acknowledgement of your shortcomings, characters, strengths, habits, and tendencies. It's about facing the truth and accepting that reality. Once you know where you are, you can make a reasonable plan to move forward in your life. Self-acceptance ultimately leads to contentment because you are no longer fighting with yourself. Because let's face it, you cannot be both your number one fan and your number one enemy. It's self-defeating. You need to free yourself from self-punishment in order to be healed. When you release yourself from the negative thoughts that hold you back and accept where you are setting yourself up for truly radical journey toward contentment, peace, and happiness. But it's easier said than done. In the next section of today's presentation, we'll explore the reasons why self-acceptance can be challenging. So let's start with asking the question, why accepting yourself is so challenging? We're hard on ourselves. Many of us are more understanding and forgiving of others than we are of ourselves. We don't always make a lot of sense. If anyone is going to be on your side, it should be you. There are several common signs that you're being too hard on yourself. You dwell on your mistakes. This accomplishes nothing. It does accomplish several things that are negative. Avoid doing this. We're all human and make mistakes. Dwelling on mistakes makes you feel less capable and miserable in general. You compare yourself to others. There's always richer, better looking, more musically talented, luckier, or have children that are better in school. Comparing yourself to others is dangerous. You don't know the other person's background or available resources. They may have a huge advantage. You're also more likely to compare yourself to exceptional people. Do you compare your looks to the middle aged man or woman at work? Not. That has three children? Of course not. You compare yourself to the 20-year-old intern that models on the side. You don't give your own ideas a fair chance. How many great ideas have you had but ultimately dismissed? You spend too much time thinking about your past failures. Of the past, oh, the past. You chickened out and you didn't ask that person to the prom, or majored in liberal arts instead of engineering. Maybe you didn't get that dream job. There's always something, is my point. If you focus on negative experiences, you're failing to accept yourself and your current reality. You can't take a compliment well. There are good things about you that, and it's okay when others acknowledge those things. Your inability to accept a compliment from others is a sign that you don't accept yourself. And finally, you're unrealistic. Being unrealistic might be seen as being too kind to yourself, but it's not. It's if you truly don't have what it takes to become an NBA basketball star or a Rhodes Scholar or a CEO, you're not doing yourself a favor by holding on to unrealistic expectations. And you're ultimately being too hard on yourself. It's not easy to accept yourself. We've been taught that the ideal person is financially successful, athletic, attractive, cool under pressure, hilarious, creative, and the life of the party. Most of us will never check all those boxes. There are many signs that you're not as accepting of yourself as you could be. So you need to be on the lookout for those signs. And you probably don't accept yourself as much as you think you are. So, here are my 9 ways to begin accepting yourself. Accepting yourself is a process, it's a habit. The little things that you do or fail to do each day determines your level of self acceptance. Developing these useful skills and dropping the negative habits is a huge step in the right direction. It's hard to accept yourself any other way. By accepting yourself each and every day by making these actions habits. First, let go of your mistakes and failures. Take the necessary time to learn from your negative experiences. Once you've done that, there's nothing else to be gained by them. Let them go. Decide how you can avoid making the same error in the future. Then move on. Habit 2. Only compare yourself to yourself. Comparing yourself to someone else is like comparing a tree to a loaf of bread. There's no comparison. However, you can compare yourself to your previous results. If you're doing better, you have every right to be excited. If you're coming up short, be excited that you know you can really rectify the situation. Separate yourself from your emotions. Your emotions are separate from you. There are some things that you're experiencing just like someone stepping on your toe. Observe them as feelings in your body or as a piece of paper blowing down the street. You just want to observe them. A piece of paper blowing by doesn't have any control over you. Your emotions don't have to control you either. Be aware of what makes you unique and embrace it. It might be your flaming red hair, your very high IQ, or your compassion for animals. Maybe you're in the bottom fifth percentile for your height. You're not exactly the same as anyone else. It's your uniqueness that potentially provides the most value to you and to the world. Let go of the things that you can't change or control. You're not accepting of your life or your limitations if you worry about those things beyond your influences. Ask yourself, is there anything I can do about this? If not, there's no reason to dwell on it. Do something that you've always wanted to do. Avoid denying your impulses. If you've always wanted to learn how to play the violin or write a sappy screenplay, that's okay. Now is the time. When you deny your healthy impulses, you're not accepting yourself. Be more assertive. Let people know what you think. Give your opinion. Allow your voice to be heard. Do the things you want to do. Assertiveness is a form of honesty about you and your own desires. Recognize your thoughts and feelings. Examine your self talk. Stand in front of a mirror and take a good look at yourself. Notice your thoughts throughout the day. Acknowledge how you judge yourself. Most people distract themselves with TV, the internet, food, their phone, or some other strategy. This is to avoid spending time with yourself. Turn off the distractions and notice what happens. Continue evolving. Those with little self acceptance tend to be stuck. They can't move towards anything positive. Be honest with yourself about what you like and dislike and allow yourself to evolve. Trust each day. Trust each day is a new opportunity to practice self acceptance. You must choose self acceptance if you want to experience it firsthand. It won't happen by accident. Develop self acceptance habits and drop your tendency to judge yourself harshly. Free yourself from your emotions. Self esteem and self confidence. You can be aware of your shortcomings and still be happy with yourself. Your self confidence doesn't have to suffer either. You can be honest with yourself and still be a powerful force in the world. You might be thinking, I thought I was supposed to be honest with myself, not build myself up. This is being honest with yourself. If you had a truly accurate picture of yourself and your situation, you would be a lot happier with yourself and a lot more excited in life in general. Build self esteem and self confidence simultaneously with these strategies. List your greatest successes. Remember when you were at your best. Remember, remind yourself how that felt. Make a list of the things you appreciate about yourself. List 3 things each evening. See just how great you really are. Dress up. You walk a little taller when you're wearing your nice clothes. You deserve to feel good. There's no reason to wait for a job interview, wedding, or funeral to look and feel your best. Live your values. When you live by your code, you feel good about yourself. You feel badly when you do the opposite. Smile and set a small goal and achieve it. Give yourself an easy path to feeling good and enhancing your life. Set an easy goal and taste success. Be kinder towards others. If you're hard on others, you're probably hard on yourself. Avoid saying anything negative and be a good listener. That will get you 90% of the way. If you have sufficient self esteem and self confidence, self acceptance is easier to find. You're already pretty great. There's no reason not to recognize it. Treat yourself with admiration and respect that you deserve. Meditation is a tool for self acceptance. Meditation and mindfulness are all the rage these days. Though they have been around for several thousands of years, they have enjoyed a new level of popularity. Even the scientific world is getting involved. A quick search on your favorite search engine will demonstrate just how interested the world is in these topics. While meditation accomplishes many things, we're interested in self acceptance. Meditation is a powerful method of stripping away the extraneous garbage that stands in the way of realizing the truth. Meditation allows you to see your erroneous thoughts and beliefs more easily. It provides more emotional control. When your emotions are appropriate and proportionate, it's easier to accept yourself and others. So, follow these tips to incorporate a daily meditation into your life. First, create a daily schedule you can keep. It's much better to meditate each day for a few minutes than to meditate for a longer period a couple times a week. Be realistic. Now, ideally, you can set aside at least 20 minutes a day. Avoid the mistake of failing to schedule your meditation time. If you wait until you have time, you're never going to do it. Find a comfortable spot. You don't need much. Any quiet spot where you won't be disturbed will work just fine. A firm chair or a seated position on the floor will work. Lying down can even work, provided you stay awake. Start small. It's more challenging to sit with yourself for 20 minutes than you think. 5 to 10 minutes is a good start. Meditation is a relationship with yourself. So be nice to yourself. It's about self-acceptance and compassion for you. And focus on your breathing. Feel the air moving in and out of your body. Feel the sensations of the air moving past the edges of your nostrils. Continue until your mind wanders. You probably won't even catch yourself the first several times your mind drifts away. All of a sudden, you realize that you've been thinking about work, school, dinner, or your neighbor's annoying dog. When your mind wanders, let those thoughts go. Think of the thoughts as clouds blowing by. You don't have to pay attention to them to be affected by them. Just allow them to pass through, and you just allow your thoughts to pass through your attention and return your attention to your breath. Your mind will wander a lot at first. You might not even be able to last 30 seconds before your mind is off to another place. That's okay. Just keep going. You'll get much better with practice. Meditation will show you that your mind creates thoughts. The thoughts lead to feelings and beliefs. You'll also learn that you don't have to be affected by them. Being upset by your thoughts is a little like punching yourself in the face. Let me repeat that. Being upset by your thoughts is a little like punching yourself in the face. Unclench that fist by allowing your thoughts to pass through. Most people spend too much time thinking and being influenced by their thoughts. They have a weak grasp of reality. The world is going on around you, not inside your head. You'll have more honest perspective of yourself, the world, and those around you if you can quiet your mind. You'll learn quickly. You'll quickly learn to avoid being bothered by your thoughts. They'll move along on their own, provided you don't get engaged with them. Learn to deal effectively with your thoughts, and you can easily push past any self doubt that keeps you from accepting yourself and finding contentment. We're all seeking contentment, perhaps even more than happiness. But we need to view happiness as a side effect of contentment. The fact is, contentment is a for prerequisite for feeling happy. Without contentment, everything is impossible. Everyone is driven by the need for contentment. Some of us seek contentment through achievement of wealth, others seek it through altruism or creation. But both can be dead ends. Where does it stop? Does a billionaire ever feel content, or does he continuously feel the need to create greater wealth? Nothing external can provide life-altering radical contentment. Contentment must be found from the inside through kindness, compassion, and self-awareness. Ultimately, self-acceptance. Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure for being on this first webinar. This was very new for me. This was my first webinar that I ever done, so I hope everybody enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing bi-monthly webinars. So if you would like to continue and would you like to be notified of the next webinar, what I need you to do is all you have to really do is just go to my website at elevatelife.project.com and sign up for our newsletter. Thank you again, and I appreciate it, and have a wonderful day.